when you were in TNA, did Vince Russo treat you bad or something like that, Colt?
Yeah, here's the story. He didn't treat me bad, but he did that weird apology to me, and it was very weird that he never like sent it to me. He had to send it online.
Right.
He's like,
right.
Yeah,
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, that's right. So the story is that I don't think Daivari was the big one pushing for me. I guess he didn't like Daivari, but I went in there. I did this match. It was literally like the people were cheering for me the second I came out. I was super over. It was really good, and it was a great match. And it was like, yeah, why wouldn't you use this guy? He's super over. Let's run with it. And short story is Terry Taylor was like, that was amazing, unbelievable. And Vince Russo goes, what am I supposed to do with this guy? That's the quote. What am I supposed to do with this guy? And then the next week I asked Daivari, and Daivari asked Terry Taylor, and Terry Taylor goes, hey, what are we supposed to do with this guy? So, like, you could tell who had the stroke there and who was listening.
But you know what I thought? You know what I thought was kind of stupid? I thought, this is just me, because I've been in Vince Russo's position for many years in AAA, is like, he said, well, do you ever think that the people pushing for you, I didn't think much of them? So now he's telling Daivari, if he didn't know it before, that Vince didn't think much of you. And it's kind of telling you, well, that's pretty narrow-minded. So I didn't get hired because you had heat with a friend of mine. You know what I'm saying?
Instead of evaluating my talent and what I could contribute.
But I'll say this, though, bro. Was Jeff in charge?
No, Vince was.
Vince was in charge? Vince is never in charge. Vince is in charge.
Bro, wait. Let me throw a disclaimer. Just let me throw a disclaimer. The person you are talking to right now, who's also a very good friend of mine, is an incredible friend of Vince Russo. So no matter what you say, he will give you some sort of
no,
absolutely not. When he's defending his social justice stuff.
No, absolutely not. Because I do know this. Whenever Jeff was in charge,
here it comes.
If Jeff did not rubber stamp it, you wouldn't get hired. You know what I'm saying? Like even when we'd pitch stuff to Jeff, he was like, he would always like, like even Dutch was trying to really trying to push David Young. And Jeff was like, no, if Jeff didn't like you, Jeff, for whatever reason.
Here's the funny part, Colt. When Vince gave his public apology to you, he never mentioned Jeff.
Jeff wasn't around. No, Terry Taylor was an head of talent, and Vince was writing it.
Yeah, I got that. I said that, but so Terry Taylor was in charge?
Just so you know who we're talking about. Yes, Terry the Stooge Taylor, that guy. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, but what I'm saying is, so I worked at TNA for a while and stuff, and I don't know what period of time Jeff was not in charge. Was this after he had the thing with?
Maybe he was in the period when he was fired. How about that?
Was this after they sent him
2009. home? October 2009. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, but
that was the story.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like I said, I wasn't sure what was going on. Yeah, because Vince has this thing. He's a friend of ours, but he's very thin-skinned, and so he did something similar to Shane. He buried Shane, Shane Helms.
Yeah.
Did you hear about what he said about Helms?
No.
He basically said, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, that what would qualify Shane Helms to be an agent for I don't know what word he used, but.
Here's the thing. I know exactly what happened because I called Vince out on.
Oh, here we go.
Is that he said he did
call him out.
Good.
He was basically saying that he was why was Shane was like an X Division type guy? Why was he agenting bigger guys' matches? Because he thinks that that smaller style doesn't resonate with bigger guys. I'm like, Vince, I go, you realize that Shane worked as the Hurricane for years in WWE and worked against The Rock, worked against he worked he goes, oh, I did not know that. And I'm like, Vince. I go,
how could you not know that?
I go, plus it's stupid that to think that Cornette used to agent the matches.
Right. He's never wrestled that.
Better to match. So who cares? Would you rather have an X Division guy agent match or a manager? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's Jesus, right?
Right.
How much sense does that make? Right.
So then he ended up he's done with so many people, including yourself. He tries to make up by inviting them on the show. Very good, very, very good modus operandi.
Right. You could tell. I mean, it's if he wanted to do it, if it was real, he'd do it in person.
Right.
Or call you up or something.
Right. He called me up or texted me an email, but I don't even think he linked me in the YouTube link.
No, he's turned. Let me tell you what's happened to him. Since he's been doing this podcast and stuff, he's turned into a ridiculously high-level drama queen. That's the thing. Everything's got to be on YouTube. He's got, bro, it's ridiculous.
But then we invited him on this show to squash any beef with him and Helms. But then he didn't want to. Was that it? Did he not want to come on?
No. He got hot. Let me just tell you real quick. you that you love comedy, have you seen his rant about the Atlanta airport?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
you serious?
See if KG can't send it to you. See if you can find it. But basically, it's bro, you'll like this. You know.
All right.
Yeah, he was calling out the TSA because he thinks he was being racially profiled for being white because they were all black and everything. So, but
racial profiling, the form of racial profiling,
because they wouldn't let him bring a liquid through the. I'm like, dude, you're sitting there saying like, Vince, you got to have more common sense than that. You know, they're not like profiling because they're not letting you bring soup in. They're not letting anybody bring soup in. You know, it's, like,
it's not because you're white.
It's like, geez, right? Oh, yeah, it's hysterical.
Oh, bro, but he goes on a rant. You got to see it. So he's mad because they won't let him through with his chicken and dumplings, and his mindless excuses. Well, what else could it be? Does the blue label on there that says chicken and dumplings? Yeah, anybody can print a blue label and have bomb. You know. So now, since everybody's black, you know, this black supervisor, this black biatch, I don't know what you want to call her. He called the black officer, and then the other black guy came, and I'm like, hey, motherfucker, if it was a racial thing, no white passengers would get through, not just you.